Hey everyone, good morning, good evening to the World Wide Web. First of all, I would like to invite everyone to the upcoming webinar of ITU. That's all to do with the importance, or I would say highlighting the importance of women workforce in the cyberspace. I believe when we talk about the cyberspace, loads and loads of scenarios has to be understood, and those scenarios have to be deployed on a weekly basis, so that when we talk about the transformation which is happening in industry 4.0, when we are talking about blockchain, 5G, 6G, 7G and 8G also, because um, people who are working intellectual property rights, especially people who are there in the industry for the last 15 years, they will appreciate the fact that as patent attorneys we write loads and loads of provisional patent applications, and those applications are never ever come in the public domain until unless a non-provisional or a complete application is filed. That is one aspect. Why I'm talking about that aspect is because there are loads of technology which we as patent attorneys know about, and the general world or the general business people in the domain have no idea what that technology is all about, how those technology deployments can be done, or what is the real mainframe. Generally what happens is the way the behavior of the business acumen has been over the years, and especially in the tech driven business arena, is very simple. File a patent grant, get the patent grant or registered. In India, we go with the term registration, which is more prevalent as compared to the grant process. However, when we talk about the whole scenario, what happens is the product or the service is packaged into a technology, and that technology is deployed in multiple business sectors. Say, for example, if I talk about a product, chip is something which is part of every IoT device. Or if you talk about PCB, PCB is something which has to be the key element or the key component module which is going to be deployed in any of the IoT based devices. When I talk about LED, the problem statement which many of the LED companies were facing was heat sinking capacity. Now, how this heat sinking capacity was obviated was by deploying the fans at a particular angle. Their biomimicry was playing a very big pivotal role. So these are the sectors where there's loads and loads of intersection when one is talking about deployment of 5G technologies, or we talk about deployment of 5G, blockchain, 6G. Because right now, whenever any G is being worked upon, that is, G stands for generation. So the fifth generation, the sixth generation, and I think the suit which would be followed is a systematic protocol has to be deployed, so the technology can be utilized and the master safe concept is re-emphasized. Because I believe a part of the sector, or I would say a part of the best of the people are trying to make the devices smart. We as patent attorneys at global conferences, we talk about how to make humans smart. So the point I'm trying to make out here is, it's good to use technology, it's good to be a gatekeeper. The point or the re-emphasis always has to be on the skill set, where the skill set provides you with an opportunity to be the oracle, to be someone who is able to foresee what's incoming, deploy it in the present, and that's what cyber security drill is all about. The drilling and grilling of those scenarios are done on a monthly basis or 90 days, and then a product is developed and that product is deployed in multiple, I would say, scenarios. The role play models are deployed, and that's how good technologies come into place. And the way I see it, the way I see how the job sector is going to change, let's not even talk about the revival economy right now. What is more important is what is going to be the scenario in months and years to come. 2020 somehow is almost over. We are still started with October, November, December. We are in the last quarter of 2020. However, the way I see it, Simply, people who are skillful enough would be deployed in different sectors. That means multiple workforce or multi screening kind of work skill set would be deployed, because what you learn from one sector can be deployed for the benefit of the second sector, and still there is no conflict. Or working in the cross licensing world, when we talk about SDG goal number 17, that is one thing I wanted to discuss, how the women workforce will come into picture. When we talk about the stakeholders, private and public companies also, I think people who are not able to understand the vision and mission statement of the founders, they will have to look out for something else, because that's how the things are going to be. After independence in India, the thought process was you get into a government job and then you get a pension by the time or the retirement is there. And what was forecasted in 1940s and 50s, that has not come to reality. I would rather say, because of that, now there's the new workforce is totally different. I think the workforce after a certain point of time will get back to the teaching module, because I think when we talk about a master's program, when we talk about people who are gathering that executive education, I believe people who are at the ground level, grassroots level, understanding the nodes would be in a better position to explain the scenarios to the new workforce which is being developed, with the assistance of definitely industry 4.0 business models. And a very good example is Upgrade right now. Another thing which I believe I wanted to discuss in this video is the CRISPR technology. I think to obviate or to develop the new age vaccines or tools for gene editing, I think CRISPR technology is going to play a very pivotal or important role. One example could be a patent was filed in 2019 which provided composition methods and kits for CRISPR based editing of DNA targets by type 1 CRISPR associated Cas enzymes. So basically in CRISPR technology there are three types: type 1, type 2 and type 3. I would like to discuss something on CRISPR also. So as I stated, there are three distinct types: type 1, type 2 and type 3. Type 2 is only unique to bacteria. I think when we talk about AU stands for the atomic unit. I think it's very, very important. I remember when I go back to, when I read about bio or when I read about gene policing and other technologies. What is CRISPR technology? First of all, I think CRISPR technology is simple yet powerful tool to edit genomes. It allows researchers, scientists to easily alter DNA sequences and modify the gene function. So gene function is basically, when we talk about DNA, is ATGC. How that combination of ATGC can be mimicked, and that's how, when I understand blockchain. So a part of me is always understanding the biochemistry, and then I deduce it into the blockchain technology. So a very fascinating thing is when we talk about ATGC, how the gene is modified by CRISPR technology is really fantastic. And in last couple of years, this technology is I would say it's a final wave where I believe CRISPR technology can be utilized to even get to a vaccine for COVID-19. So the protein Cas9 is an enzyme that acts like a pair of molecular scissors, like the enzyme is like a scissor. It cuts and capable of cutting a strand of DNA. So CRISPR is revolutionizing how they prevent and treat diseases. It enables scientists to repair genetic defects, use genetically modified human cells as therapies. So traditional gene therapy modules are being, I would say, being changed because earlier viruses were used.